Talking about data flow in a React application, there is one crucial term we should remember: unidirectional or one-way data flow, meaning exactly what it says. Data flow within a React application follows single clear direction, usually from a parent component down to its child components. Let's have a parent component. Looking at this web page, a parent component can be a product card, since it contains and manages child components. It has 4 child components, which, some of them, have its own child components. If a parent component needs to send data to its child, it's super easy. It sends the data through props, properties, very similar way to how an ordinary function sends parameters. Parameters are defined within the child components, and values are passed through props when the component is used. Consider a scenario where the product price changes. The parent component receives the information, in this case it receives updated product from the API, and sends it through props to its children. Each child processes the information. The first 3 children are not affected, the price doesn't influence them, so they do nothing. However, the last component needs the price for one of its own children. It passes the props further. Again, each child decides whether it's affected by the information or not. The first child says yes and renders, the second one does nothing. And so that's it. Data always flows in only one direction, usually from parent components to their child components. And they never can flow in both directions. Now, what if a child needs to send information to its parent? For instance, when a user clicks add to the basket, the parent needs to be informed of this action. So how can the child do it, as it can't send the data? The answer: reference to the function. The parent component can, through the props, send apart from the parameters as a price, also reference to the functions. In our case, let's say update card. Once sent, the data becomes available to all children, and children can call it with its parameters. But remember, the function is always processed in the parent component. Children use only its reference. Once the function is processed and changes some parameters, the parent component receives the updated information, such as an updated product. This initiates a cycle where the updated product is sent through props to all children. Children affected by this change react, either by passing parameters further or trigger a render. And so, the data flow cycle is closed. Children call a function reference with its own parameters. Function is processed in a parent component. Parent component receives updated data and passes them to its children through props, always in one direction.